Okay, hi everybody. This is going to be the craft talk on plot. Hopefully there won't be any animal interruptions in this one. um, Hold that down. All right, so plot and its fundamentals. I'm going to be using a visual aid to help me explain this, so let's get this party started. Plot is the main events that make up a story. It's divided into 5 sections: beginning, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. So let me share my screen and kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So if we go here, and then you can see my script that I have to talk about. So beginning, then you have your rising action, and this is a chart that's used like really often: climax, falling action, and resolution. So that's kind of your visual to it. So excuse me. The beginning is pretty self-explanatory. That's your introduction to the piece. In the beginning, you need to establish the conflict of the piece alongside giving us some exposition and letting us get to know your character a bit. Every story on the face of this earth has a conflict that needs to be solved by our main character. The main character wants something and works throughout the story to achieve it. This is called narrative progression. It is actively pushing us along in the story so we end up someplace different than where we began. If a story lacked conflict, why would we read it? Think of Harry Potter. The conflict is established almost immediately. Voldemort is out to get revenge on Harry Potter because he was not able to kill him as a baby. Boom. Voldemort wants something and he's going to work to get it. On the flip side, we could say that Harry wants something too in the beginning, to get out of that god-awful Dursley house, and we understand why, or to understand why he has these different abilities than them, like speaking to snakes and stuff. The established want of our main character in the beginning does not have to be the only want they have. Harry doesn't even know about Voldemort till he gets to Hogwarts. His opening want changes as he learns more. He then makes it his want or goal to defeat Voldemort, and that lasts 7 to 8 books. Do make sure that in the beginning, to really hook your reader, that is when we are going to decide whether we want to continue reading the story or put it down and try something else. You need to grab our attention somehow. Don't let your beginnings be boring or your reader is not going to continue reading. And then we have rising action. So rising action in its basic sense is the main character working to get what he or she wants. Rising action is usually the bulk of the story. Harry meets the Weasleys and takes the train to Hogwarts, where he meets Hermione and Ron. Harry is enrolled in Hogwarts and sorted into Gryffindor. Noni, that cat again, is messing with the blinds. And Harry's learning how to use his magic. Lots of things happen along the way that don't actively pertain to the big want of the story, such as, Harry gets on the Quidditch team. He has some spats with Malfoy, who isn't his main enemy. This is a great portion of the story to drop some major breadcrumbs in for us, which I talked about in the exposition craft talk video. And then we have the climax. That is where the story is at its most intense. It is usually the main character confronting whatever it is standing between them and their wants. All of the breadcrumbs should be given to us at this point. This is our battle moment. In the first book, Harry confronts Voldemort for the first time and gets the Sorcerer's Stone. Make sure that during your story's climax, you slow that pace down. Usually there's a lot of action that occurs during a story's climax. So if you rush through it with a fast pace, it'll be over before the reader had time to grasp just what the heck happened. Take it slow and leave us on the edge of our seats. Okay, so after the climax, we have falling action. Falling action is the aftermath of whatever occurred in the climax. It's different than the ending because most stories don't end right after the climax. There are some things that need to get resolved first. The climax brought about some problems that need to, get figured out. So falling action doesn't have to be too long. It's usually not that long, but it's important to have it so we can work towards getting to the resolution. And then we have the ending or the resolution. When we've solved this problem and the story closes. So in the first Harry Potter book, Harry realizes it wasn't Snape trying to get the stone, rather Snape was protecting it. As well for their efforts in getting the stone, Hermione, Ron, and Harry win the House Cup for Gryffindor. So every story needs to have these elements in some manner to have an effective plot.